a little critique there. Yes, catch those speeders. Especially on this highway, so many people get killed on it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So I've got a situation now where I've got options, right? So all my guitars are paid for. The only thing I'm technically now got to pay for, the isolation headphones that I bought last month, they're bought and paid for now. 1 month. Nice. And mind you, they weren't crazy expensive. But the way I'm going to do it now is I'm going to build up my cash as I buy things. So, like, for example, the chainsaw I want, I don't want to tell you how much it's going to be because I know which one I'm going to get. And I'd like you guys to kind of guess, make it a bit of a game, like what chainsaw am I going to get? Am I going to get the MS392, the MS400, the legendary 462, the MS500, the 500i, or the big dog 661. And I know this will tell me a lot about you by what saw you think I would pick. With the caveat of me, mind you, if you followed the channel long enough, you know that you've heard me talk about what kind of trees are in my area and stuff like that, and what I'm most likely to be cutting. So I want basically a 3-saw setup. I'll probably have 3 little saws, okay, the mini saws, because that's probably what I'm going to use the most, right? But I want a mid-range saw, and a large saw. And I have if I was like a business guy going right into tree service and say, okay, I have a budget for 3 saws. Okay, I'll tell you the 2 ends I would get. I won't tell you what the 3rd saw is. The first saw I'd get is an MS261, or if you can find an old 260, same saw, just a new version is called the 261, which is a 50cc saw that you can work with all day. It is an awesome saw for most things. One of the best saws of all times. And on the big end, I would probably get the 661. There's nothing around here that really requires a 661, except for the odd Manitoba maple that's just not so much hard to cut through, but just the thing's 4 feet at the base, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I would get that. That'd be like the last saw I'd get, because it's just, you use that so rarely, but when you do, you make big money, right? And then a mid-range saw right in the middle of those 2 saws, but I won't tell you which one it is. But do I get it this month, or do I wait till November? See, I'm more inclined to wait till November because it might go on sale. I got 1 saw. Mini Beast, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him up and running again. I mean, he's thrown the trigger on me about 3 times now, and it's like, he's not reliable. You never know, maybe I'll just go and buy a little saw for now, because I know I'll use, like, a little saw, that'll pay itself off so quickly, you know what I mean? Like a $200 and some odd little chainsaw. Yeah, but then again, that pole arm saw would be really freaking handy. That's about $500. So it's on the list. It's just, do I get it this year or next year, right? So next to my musical instruments, like, I want to get more into the sawing stuff because A, I can charge bigger money. The initial investment of the saws are expensive. But like, for example, the pruning, offer tree pruning in this area around the cottagers. And it's not even really tree pruning, it's just like removing branches so people can see the freaking lake. $35 an hour. You buy a $500, $600 pole arm saw, right? You charge your gas. You do an 8-hour day, there's almost a $300 day. That's a $280 day. How many of you are making $280 a day? you know what I mean? If you get that many hours, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times you're only there for an hour and a half. But if you got enough clients, getting the drum kit paid off, all that. Like the drum kit, I haven't fallen behind on that since I bought it, which is great, you know. And I, you know, now only owe maybe about $1,300 left on it. That's nothing. And I got till February to pay that off. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, if it takes me a little longer, it doesn't matter, you know. But I'm gonna get the double bass drum pedal, and because again, my goal was to pay off my credit card by October, right? And I've done it 2 months early. Basically, it's the end of August now. Pretty much 2 months early. And I'm far enough ahead on my rents and stuff like that. Now, like into January. And that's going to basically, into February's living expenses. So I'm even further ahead on, you know, at the end of August, I've got my living expenses covered up till, you know, the beginning of February. That's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? And that's the key, guys. Getting ahead, it's hard to get ahead. I know it is. But if you know, you just work at it. You know, even if it takes you 3-4 years to get ahead, just get ahead. Staying ahead is not easy either. Like you think, okay, I'm ahead now, I can do this, I can do that. No, you always got to kind of like put that money away and forget you have it. It's rainy day money. It's stuff that, you know, let's say you have a budget per month of, you know, to pay your bills, right? And let's say you exceed that budget every month by, say, $20, as little as $20, okay? And at the end of the month, you pay your bills. Well, that remaining $20, don't spend it, put it forward. You know what I mean? Like, pay it forward. Like, make sure that it, you know, because at the end of the year, that's an extra $120 for you. You know, after 10 years, it's an extra month's living expenses or whatever. You know what I mean? My case, you know, and if you, let's say you have an extra 50 or $100, it snowball, like it takes forever to snowball, but once it starts snowballing, it really snowballs. Ah, check out this old truck. That's cool. So the really cool part is I'm up to date, far ahead, and I'm basically got, you know, everything lined up to be gate's closed. That's weird. Usually the gate's open, but okay. Okay, anyway, I gotta go do this. So I got everything lined up really, really well, is what I'm saying. Is I'm ahead of the game. I can make plans.